something I would probably compare it to North Korea. Just over there, the Aviation 96. Hello and welcome from Havana. Today we are taking a trip on China's secret flight from Cuba to Spain, a route that is solely operated for political reasons, with very little economical gain for the Chinese airline, but a gesture from President Xi Jinping to bring more tourists and opportunities to one of the poorest countries on earth. What the flight is really like and whether anyone actually flies on it, it's something we're going to answer in today's flight review. So please join me on a trip from Havana all the way to Madrid. If you're new to the channel, my name is Josh Cahill, a multi-award winning aviation YouTuber with over 500 million views, and I love to hold airlines accountable for the promises they make. My favorite hobby? Featuring unique airlines from all over the world. I organized Afghanistan's first all-female flight, and I'm also proudly banned from Qatar Airways. Last week, I was guest on the Young Pioneers podcast, sharing all behind the scenes, whether I'm part of the Mile High Club, speaking about the fate of the all-female crew from Afghanistan, and about what really happened with Sam Chui. The link is in the description box below. Enjoy! A couple of days ago, I arrived in Cuba on a national airline and flying on only one of 3 Tupolev 204s left in the world. They showered me with the kindest hospitality and made me stand inside the cockpit for landing, an experience I will never forget. Once in Havana, I got to explore the beautiful city, discovered nuclear bunkers, and tried the best food. When looking for flights out of the country, I came across a very unusual airline, a Chinese one that operates for half the price to Spain in comparison to all other carriers operating this route. So I got very curious and booked myself on this suspicious looking offer. And here we are, a wonderful good afternoon from the beautiful capital of Cuba, Havana. We're going to go to the airport now to take an airline that you wouldn't expect departing from here, operating flights out of the capital, but we're going to go there in style. So come with me because I have a little surprise for you. After the Cuban Revolution, heavy sanctions were introduced, which turned the country into a museum for classic cars. You find them all around when visiting Havana, so you have to take one when going to the airport. Thank you very much. It's a lot of fun.
Now it's different.
Now it's different, yeah, definitely.
You sit down in the back? Or
Yeah, let me sit in the back.
Okay.
Yeah. We took a ride along the world-famous Malecon Seafront Boulevard, which is one of the city's most charming places, but it's also quite interesting for aviation enthusiasts. The Hotel Nacional is where IATA, the aviation governing body, was founded in 1945. Did you know that? So here we go, guys. We are on our way to the airport, and I hope I didn't promise too much driving a Dodge. How old is this car?
Dodge.
Yeah, how old?
1958.
1958. Wow. That's almost as old as my dad. Beautiful car though. I love it.
Big one though.
Yeah.
Very big.
Very nice. Yeah, has a lot of room. So yeah, a lot of you guys have been asking me, what is it like to travel Cuba, Havana? I mean, I came here a couple of days ago on Cubana on the Tupolev 204, which was such an amazing aviation adventure. And now driving to the airport in style and having experienced Cuba, its nightlife, its bars. I went to the nuclear bunker, I did a bit of an aviation tour, got a history tour. It was it's just a spectacular place. It's just really like something very unique, out of the ordinary, something I would probably compare it to North Korea or or Japan, you know, the places where you arrive and there is like an instant culture shock, and you're fascinated by the way they live, by the way how things are run. And I think this is what I love about Cuba, and the people are so kind and so lovely here, which you probably noticed in my Cubana video. They barely ever say no, and that's really what I love. So if you ever plan a trip to the area, make sure you include Cuba in your travel plans. It's well worth it.
Bayern Munich or Borussia Dortmund?
Huh?
In the soccer play.
Soccer player?
Bayern Munich or Borussia Dortmund?
Schalke. You know Schalke? No Dortmund. No Bayern. But you're a Real Madrid fan, huh?
Yeah. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, Cristiano Ronaldo.
What do you prefer, Cristiano or Messi?
Cristiano. Cristiano.
The best.
The best. The GOAT. The GOAT. The GOAT. The one and only. Yeah. No Messi. CR7. No, here it's okay. You can stop here. Goodness, thank you very much. Have a good time.
Okay, thank you.
All the best. Bye.
Bye, Carl.
See ya. Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN, a service I have been using for the past 5 years. So let me give you a few good reasons why you should use Surfshark VPN as well. By using Surfshark VPN, you get around online censorship. Whether you want to access TikTok in India, make video calls in the Middle East, or use Instagram in Russia, and all this while protecting your online identity, especially when using public Wi-Fi. My favorite perk? Finding cheaper flight deals by changing my location using a VPN, and I'm also able to access different Netflix libraries or watch the highlights of my favorite football team by getting around geolocation blocking. So use the link surfshark.com/Josh Cahill or the link in the description box below to use the VPN from as little as €2 a month. And on top of that, you get 4 additional months for free in order to get to use the best VPN on the market. Now let's go back to the review. And guys, here we are. Welcome to Havana International Airport. And in the background, look at this, the Tupolev 204 of Cubana, the very same plane that I took from Caracas to here a few days ago. Make sure you check out that video as well. And there's another aviation gem just over there, the Aviation 96. 2 of them are parked, they're not in service anymore, unfortunately. And the other one that is back after 3 years C check in Moscow, sporadically flies to Panama. I checked the flight radar and it was flying to Algeria for what reason ever, but it's really hard to catch, but I hopefully one day I can fly it as well. So guys, and now we are inside the terminal, checking in for a flight that you wouldn't particularly expect to depart or operate on that specific sector. So let me take you with you. Let's go, let's check in. So guys, and I'm sure you weren't expecting Air China to operate from Havana to Madrid. They then continue to Beijing, but this is probably the most competitive route departing from Cuba, because there is also Iberia, Air Europa, Cubana, and I think another budget airline. They're all flying the flights to Madrid, which are very popular. And yeah, there aren't many flights from Havana to Europe. I think there might be Turkish Airlines, Istanbul. Not too sure about this one, but yeah. So we'll be flying the Dreamliner to Madrid. So let's see how Air China, an airline that I personally very much like, is performing on this flight. But now let me get a little snack because I'm very hungry. So internet here in Havana or in Cuba generally is still very patchy and regulated. So even here at the airport you have to buy some scratch cards for an access code to the internet. Yeah, it's a cute little airport here. Not much happening, there's only one flight left, and that's Air China to Beijing. Over there we just have Copa Airlines 737 MAX, just arrived from Panama. So fun fact and a very interesting coincidence, this 787-9 Dreamliner was the exact plane that took me from Singapore to Beijing last year. And I think they have like 20 Dreamliners, so I mean, what are the odds, you know? I mean, Air China has what, 200 plus planes? Not bad. It's also quite interesting, before the pandemic, TAC Angola was operating a weekly flight from Luanda to Havana. I mean, they're traditional allies and stuff, and there's some other reasons, I guess, why they have done that in the past, but yeah, they haven't reinstalled that flight ever since COVID, unfortunately, because I think it's a very unique route to fly. I would have loved to jump on that plane. Yeah, 777, and then back in the days it was a 747. Not bad. But it was then time to board our flight to Madrid, operated by Air China. So let's see what they have in store for us today. Alright, let's board Air China. It's been a while. Guys, a lot of you have been asking me about my keyring. So right now I'm running a combo deal where you can get all three of them, the green one, the black one, and the red one in a package. So check out the link in the description box below and get your Cahill keyring.
Thank you. Welcome aboard safely, please.
Oh, sorry.
Next aboard.
Well, here we are. Welcome on board Air China's Dreamliner, featuring 229 seats in a standard 9 abreast configuration. Each seat features personal entertainment, and overall it's a very competitive product. Much better than most airlines flying between Cuba and Spain. So guys, and here we are. Welcome back on Air China. Flying to Madrid. Fun fact that this flight was actually like half the price of what other airlines offer on this particular sector. So I paid $500-ish, and the second cheapest flight of Air Europa was actually $1,000. So considering that Air Europa, you won't even get a meal. You might get a meal, but you have to pay for all your add-ons, and it's pretty much a holiday airline. I pick Air China over Air Europa any day. And I think actually Air China has improved so much over the years, and that also applies to most other Chinese airline, whether it's China Southern, Hainan, China Eastern. They have upped their game so much, especially with their fleet renewal, training, service, food. So yeah, these days you don't have to worry about flying Chinese airlines anymore. Their safety record is spotless. So you guys have probably seen that in previous videos. Usually on the Dreamliner, I prefer that seat right behind me, you know, where it narrows down from 333 configuration to 232, because then you have some extra room to your left. So in between the window and your seat, there's a little space where you can put your bag, you can stretch your legs. It's actually a pretty decent seat, but unfortunately when I checked in or picked my seat online, it was already taken, unfortunately. To my surprise, the flight was absolutely packed, but not with Chinese passengers as expected, but mostly filled with Europeans and South Americans. I guess the competitive prices is something that makes people want to fly them. With an hour delay, we finally made our way to Madrid on a 10-hour flight. Shortly after we reached cruising altitude, the crew would serve hot meals, which are included in your ticket price. Afterwards, I went to sleep and did so for a solid 6 hours. The airline also offers breakfast, but I wasn't really in the mood for another snack. I guess the initial goal of this flight was to increase Chinese tourist numbers to Cuba, but in the end it seems that Europeans found a great and cheap alternative to escape the miserable Spanish airlines, which are considered as some of the worst in the universe. Thank you, bye-bye. Thank you, bye-bye. So here we are, welcome to Madrid. A long 2 months adventure of trying all different airlines from around the world is coming to an end. It was a lot of fun, but I'm also pretty happy that I'm done flying. It's sometimes pretty exhausting. What was not exhausting was Air China today. It was really like a good flight. They had 2 meals. I skipped on the breakfast because there was just like 5 hours in between the meals, and I was just like, nah, I'm gonna get a good sleep. But it was very professional, worth the money for sure. For what I spend. I don't think you get that on Air Europa, and very happy to see these Fifth Freedom flights, which is so random but so appreciated, because they usually come with a very good price. I remember I was like flying KLM recently from Singapore to Bali. I think also Fifth Freedom flights. Fifth Freedom flights are a thing. There should be a lot more Fifth Freedom flights, so we would have a lot more competition, better prices, better service. But yeah, this is it, guys, from my side. I hope you enjoyed my little Havana, Cuba adventure. I loved it. Fantastic country. Make sure you're gonna visit it one day. And also check out my Patreon if you want to join my WhatsApp group, have early access to my videos, your name in the credits, get your Cahill keyring, which looks pretty cool on your carry-on, and let me know in the comment section below what you think of Air China and my little adventure, Cuba adventure. This is it, guys. Where are we off to? Have a safe trip.